Hi, this is Ash from Crack Minis, and today I'm going to be building the Ice Cream Van of Doom and the Slave Wagon. I was out and about and I come across these two little cars with a little motor inside them. Pull and they go forwards. Proper little kids' toys. And I thought, you know what, I can make something cool out of these. So I picked them up. Oh, look at it go! So I started off by pulling them apart. Pretty easy, all screws, which is nice for a change, rather than having to break things. I actually got to use my rotary tool on this one as well, which I was pretty happy about. I mean, I was going to say Dremel, but it's not Dremel. It's too cheap for that. I don't make Dremel money. I decided pretty quick on that I wasn't going to be using the back of the toy RV. I was going to be switching that out with something else. You'll see it in a minute or so what I switched it with, but yeah, it just wasn't quite right for the scale. I just wasn't happy with that big door on the side of it. I give it all an obligatory sanding to make everything easier to glue down. Oh, a tiny ladder to save for later. I use a lot of styrene in this build, like just for paneling and things like that. And when I started, I wanted to fill the holes on the ice cream van, so fill through the windows and have one open. And I glued a piece of styrene to the wrong side and had to cut it off and then put it back on the other. So it was a little bit messy, but I like the finished result anyway. I used a lot of super glue and baking soda on this project, and I will say that it's great, but you have to be careful with it because I burnt myself. I wasn't paying attention and I actually burnt myself with it because it's a chemical reaction. So I don't think I've ever heard anyone mention this before in any YouTube videos I watched. Um, but yeah, be careful. You know? May as well get this out of the way now. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. I mean, I'm gonna make it regardless, but I mean, if you enjoy them, like and subscribe. Anyway, I got a bit high pitched at the end there, but is what it is. So I got started on the bed for the RV slash slave wagon. Anyway, I used coffee stirrer sticks, glued the panels together, and then laid them on the top. I'm gonna have to get myself a rasper or something. I mean, a lot of this wasn't shown in the end result, but I think it would improve the quality of the way the wood looks at the end, especially for the scale. I had to remove those little metal pieces just so what I was putting on there would fit. That's right, it's a manufactorum container. I had one lying around, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to use this. It's just going to be there in my pile of shame, just staring at me. Just all sad and grey. But I found a use for it. I was like, yes. Then I glued some styrene panels onto the sides of the flatbed just to hide that work. So I took a break from that, just try and work out how I was going to connect the container to the flatbed, and started gluing on some greebles for the ice cream van. So I went to my local hobby shop because I was having a hard time working out what I was going to do with this container, and I found these fences, and I was like, I can make them into cages, a little bit of alteration. They're really, really good for that. Well, I found them really good for that. Um, oh, and I worked out to stick it down. Chains. It's always chains. I was overthinking it. This is some gardening wire from Wilco that I used to add some detail to the model, just so it had just a little bit extra. And then it was time to get my heat gun out because I needed a cow catcher on the front of the ice cream van because I thought, well, if this was going to work like a convoy, I'd want the ice cream van to go first. Got the Aves epoxy sculpt out and made myself a little ice cream cone. Delicious. So now it's time to paint. We're going to start with a Zenithal highlight just to bring out those details, show me what I'm working with. Uh, no one enjoys talking about painting, me especially, because I'm not really a fan. I mean, I can do it. You'll see me do it. Um, I do like the way it looks, but rather than talk about that, I'm going to tell you about the things I've made. So, we'll start off with I enjoy films like Mad Max and games like Fallout, and I thought, oh, I'll try something like that to start. I have not rehearsed this in any way, shape, or form. Just forewarning you, it might be terrible. Uh, let's have a go. So you're walking through this desert. It's a post-apocalyptic wasteland, no water, nothing, and you're starving, dying of thirst. The sun's beating down on you, and then you hear it off in the distance, and it's a chime. It's familiar. You've heard it before, but you don't know when. You don't know where. You walk towards it. Of course you do. You don't know what it is, but it's sound. It's life. It could be people. And then you see it just as you come over a hill. It's a giant ice cream. You haven't seen one of them since you were a kid. It's just a huge ice cream. As you get closer, you realise it's on top of a van. It's an ice cream van. You think to yourself, you're like, it's an ice cream van. I have to go to it. I have to go to it. It's playing music. There's got to be people there. There's got to be food there. I'm so hungry. And you run. You run towards the sound. You run towards this ice cream van, this thing you haven't seen since you were a child. some people have never even seen it in their lives can get up to it. And on this shelf, there's 3 ice creams. They look amazing. Just starting to drip down the waffle. And you can't help yourself. You notice there's no one around. You just can't. You can't help yourself. You have to have one. They look amazing. As you reach out, you can see a strange piece of meat on the corner of the canopy. You don't think much of it. There's also a crow's skull and grenades. What is going on? But you pay no mind. Because all you want is ice cream, and there's no one around. No one's going to miss this one ice cream. And you grab it. As you lift it, it starts to drip down your hand. It's so cold on your skin. Oh, it's got sprinkles on it. You slowly raise the ice cream up to your mouth. You start salivating in anticipation. Oh, it smells like you remember it smelled. It's going to taste so good. That's when you hear it. Gravel shifting behind you. Thunk. Blackness. You can hear wheels moving when you wake up, and you can feel the heat coming off the iron bars that are under you. You realise you've been captured. You've been put in a cage, and you're going to be sold just for one bite of an ice cream that you never got. The end. I really tried. I don't know if it turned out good, and I'm probably not going to know until I post the video because I don't like listening to myself. And if you enjoyed this little story that I've just said, like and subscribe. I guess. It's time for the glam shots. So let's watch it spin.